This is a quick breakdown of the hip lift on a diagonal. There are two ways you can do it depending on the size that you want. So hip lifts normally go pretty much straight up. They might go a little bit forward. It just depends on your own body and style. You could also go up to the front, up to the back. Most often you'll see this in sets of two. Front, front, back, back, front, front, back, back. If you do these sets of two, you've got two options for size. You can either keep your foot in place, you have a little bit of a weight shift, a little bit of a lean, and you might do something like open, close. That's what I like to do. Different people have different styles. Or if your movement's a little bit larger, you might move the foot. So you could go forward, forward, back, back, forward, forward, back, back. So the back, rather than really being a hip lift, is this move. It's the same kind of move you use for this walk. It's kind of a different move at that point. So you have, just breaking this down, you've got two different moves you can do. So alternative to your straight up hip lift, swing your hip up on a diagonal, swing the hip back on a diagonal. When you swing to the back, check that you're not adding arch to your back. What you're doing instead is you're pushing your hip out, but you're still keeping your tail kind of tucked under. You're not just arching your back more. So to really pay attention to that, because you don't want it to look like this. You want to still have your abs engaged, still have your back the same curve level that it was when your hip lift was here, if that makes sense. So little hip to the front, little hip to the back, not overarching and sticking your bum out. If you want it bigger, move the foot. If you're moving the foot, you're not placing that much weight on it. You're extending your hip to the front, extending your hip to the back. You're putting maybe 20% of your weight on the foot, but you're not really putting your weight on it because that would mean you're shifting your entire body. So weight stays pretty centered. Big version. Hip to the front, hip to the back. Hope that helps clarify the two versions of hip lift on a diagonal.